Are you bored of lazy recruiters that tell you that your decades of experience can't be transferred into other sectors? If so, in today's show, I'll be sharing a creative strategy that conscious companies are using to recruit people over 50, including us baby boomers. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Bybreen Samuels, and you're here at the Smart Years, a place where baby boomers can reinvent, thrive, and live well into their third act of life. So last week, EasyJet, the airline company, launched their recruitment strategy, and a part of it is called the Returnship Initiative. And essentially, what they are doing is actively seeking to recruit people over 50, including baby boomers, to become cabin crew. What they're also recognizing is that there's a need to circumvent the recruitment bias that exists in the form of ageism. They also recognize that we have fantastic skills, talents, knowledge that could add value to their company. So, since September 2022, they've noticed that the number of applications coming from people over 50 has trebled, and applications from people over 60 has quadrupled. So, this emerging trend of returnship literally means that it's an opportunity, it's a paid opportunity for about 12 or maybe 16 weeks. It's both online and offline, where potential employees are introduced to what the job could entail, together with the operational side of the company. Now, EasyJet isn't the only company that's offering it. But what they are doing is stepping into the realm of the future of work, which is forever changing. Now, there are some shifts taking place, and one of them is the demographic shift. There is recognition that by 2030, 57% of the workforce will be made up of Gen Z employees. And so, therefore, companies are recognizing that as more of us baby boomers who choose to retire move out of the workforce, there's going to be a knowledge gap. Employers are also looking for skills and adaptability. Now, the type of skills is really around creative, critical, and analytical thinking. The reason being is because they're looking for people who can actually help them solve business problems. And beyond that, they're looking for customer service skills. Now, in particular, us as baby boomers learn all of this pre technology, in that we didn't have generative AI or other tech solutions, should I say, to assist us with critical thinking. That's obviously not to say that people from other generations don't think critically, but it is just about that recognition. And also, we stacked up decades of experience. The other shift is a retirement trend, and it's the trend away from retirement, meaning that there are a couple of cohorts here. There's a cohort of baby boomer who does have enough to retire on, but chooses to continue working because they love work and they still have value that they want to offer. Then there's the other cohort of us who may enjoy working, but recognize that we can't actually afford to retire. So we need to continue working. And so companies are seeing this trend and are trying to find ways to integrate us within the workforce. And then lastly, we have the workforce composition. As I mentioned, by 2030, 57% of the workforce will be made up of Gen Z. And as baby boomers continue to retire out, companies are recognizing that there's a lack of or a loss of managerial and leadership abilities. That's not to say that Gen Z, millennials, and some Gen Xers won't move into those roles, but there is a recognition that if more than half of the workforce is going to be Gen Z, then there is a solid gap there. Now, there are other companies who are offering these returnship, they're either called programs or initiatives. And as I mentioned, they are paid opportunities, and you could be somebody who took a career break. That's how they tend to be phrased. Now, for us as baby boomers, some of us may have consciously taken a career break and now want to enter back into the workforce. But for a high number of us, it could be that we were made redundant, or our roles then became expired, and since then we've had difficulty getting back into the world of work because of this recruitment bias. So if you've been out of work for, let's say, 12 months, 18, 24 months, or, several years, then the returnship opportunities are there for you to explore. Now, they could be industry specific, like the manufacturing industry. Over the decades, this has been waning, and skilled engineers who are coming up to retirement age or who may have left the workforce but need to come back into the workforce, then I would say certainly research those opportunities specific for your industry. And then more generically, the type of companies who are offering this range from IBM to Deloitte to Accenture, Amazon, as well as Ford Motor Company. So these companies do actively have these returnship programs. So go out there, go and explore them. There's a thesis that is being announced that baby boomers have value. We know we have value, but what I think is beginning to slowly but surely connect is that there's the corporate world, and there have been some traditional processes and ways of being within the corporate world that are breaking down, thankfully. And there's more of an alignment with the zeitgeist. What's happening in the world? Well, we're living in a far more expansive, multi generational world whereby there are 5 generations within the world of work. And the more of us that are trying to get back into the world of work will bring more parity and equity. Because if you think about all of us from whichever generation, we have a particular insight, a particular view, a particular set of skills, and that if you blend those together, then companies can really thrive. And I think companies like the ones I've mentioned, including EasyJet, are seizing this trend. There's a recognition that corporations operate within environments, they operate within communities, and we, the people, populate the communities. So go out there, go and explore this thesis. But this is a particular way in which conscious companies, those who've woken up, those where leaders are, creative in their thinking, they recognize that they're living in a surround sound world, that their businesses have different touch points. And in order for those businesses to thrive, they need the contribution from all of us that bring those nuanced touch points to enhance their product and service. So if you want to know more about a new job strategy, then check out this video. The thumbnail says no job, the job search strategy that every baby boomer needs to know. And I will see you again on the next show. Stay well. Bye-bye.